Hi guys, I'm Nada and this is A10N-8800E, a motherboard with an integrated CPU from Biostar. Now when I saw the press release of this motherboard, I was quite shocked because having an AMD FX APU in 2019, it's pretty much a last revision of AMD's now ancient bulldozer cores combined with the Radeon R7 graphics. So it's a notebook or an all-in-one system from a few years ago pretty much. Now, when they reached to us to test this system, they said that it offers a lot of value to gamers and simple PC users. Now, I understand the latter, but I really have my doubts when it comes to the gaming part because this technology is pretty, outdated. The price is quite good. It is 100 euros. You cannot really buy an ITX motherboard and a CPU for 100 euros, so it's definitely affordable. But is it worth your money? Let's check it out. This video is brought to you by the Corsair Crystal 680X, a premium dual-chamber case that is easy to work with, offers great performance, and with its beautiful addressable RGB fans, it will turn your PC into a rig that really stands out. Get yours using the links in the description below. Now, looking at the board itself, it is clear that this is designed to be low-end. It is definitely not too exciting to look at. The heatsink and the cooler are far from impressive, and the audio chip is pretty low-end these days as well. Connection-wise, you will have to do with 4 USB ports, 1 network port, and 1 HDMI connection. Personally, it would be better if they removed the legacy PS2 option and the VGA connections for more USB ports, but for most low-end purposes, this should be just fine. Having said that, we do see Biostar offering a spot for NVMe SSDs, and there is internal USB 3.0 support as well, so for most builds and cases, you shouldn't be really missing anything. Instead of trying to make as cheap a system as possible, something you're probably likely to do with this, we did really want to give Biostar the opportunity to shine. So we went with a fast Samsung 970 EVO Plus SSD and added some fast memory, even though, we're gonna get back to that in a second. When I started setting up the system, I noticed something you don't really see that much when you build only mid-end and high-end systems. So the BIOS is very, very basic. Which is okay, I don't mind a basic BIOS when it comes to low-end systems like this. But the fact that it doesn't support faster memory than 2133 MHz is quite surprising considering the fact that AMD APUs benefit greatly from faster memory. Now, Biostar calls it a 2133 MHz OC, which is technically correct, but the software and the drivers are also very Spartan, with not even the AMD Auto Detect working properly. And you do want to go to the AMD website and download the newest AMD Adrenalin drivers. Just remember, when you do that, go somewhere down on the webpage under FX drivers and notebooks. As a simple system, it is like any other simple system. If you put an SSD into it, it's going to boot up quickly and it's going to be great for some simple tasks like browsing the internet or doing some office applications, and it's going to feel very fast, like a Core i9, because you don't really need more than a quad-core laptop to do simple tasks like that. But do keep in mind, even when doing simple tasks like this, it's going to be very noisy. So if you are sensitive to noise, just get something else. As for gaming, we tried 4 very popular games at this moment: Apex Legends, Fortnite, Overwatch, and League of Legends. However, we lost hope quickly, as the first 3 weren't even able to keep 30 FPS up consistently at 720p on low settings. It was simply unplayable. Now, League of Legends works well enough, but that game is so old that using it as a benchmark for anything is quite ridiculous. All it proves is that some older games should work, but in my opinion, the R7 integrated graphics at this point is just too old to consider in 2019. So I did give it another chance and added the cheapest GPU I have here in stock, the GTX 1050 Ti. Unfortunately, with that I started to run into bottleneck issues instead. Normally, this GPU would handle these games easily. On 1080p medium settings, it would do around 60 FPS or more. But in this setup, it just struggled. And that is all besides the fact that under heavy load, this little fan is making so much noise, annoying even my husband, who normally doesn't hear half of the stuff that I say out loud. If you're wondering if it's even fair to talk about gaming this much on this super budget hardware, I will point out that from Biostar's own marketing, they are aiming this product at gamers as well, so I feel it's important to point out that they shouldn't. So, where does this leave us? I'm always looking for hardware that has a good value, and I know that for a lot of people, even a small saving would mean a lot. But there's this point where something cheap is not necessarily a good choice. Now, I really wish that this motherboard was cheap and great for gaming, but it offers the cheap part without the gaming part. And if you're serious about gaming in any way, it's much better to just save up a bit more and build a system with a dedicated GPU, or build a Ryzen 2200G or 2400G system that's going to offer playable frame rates in the same small form factor. Having said that, it is not all bad for this Biostar motherboard. At this low price point, it is impossible to buy an ITX motherboard and a CPU, whether it's Intel or AMD. And this becomes one of the cheapest options to build a small form factor functioning PC that's going to be great for your grandparents, for example. They want to be online and browse the internet and write something in Word. They're not going to mind the noise. So if this is what you're looking for, then you should probably check this motherboard out. Now, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this motherboard and about this review. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye!